We are here gathered today under the powerful banner of empowering Africa's food future. Yet another event organized by none other than the ever innovative Sterling Bank in the intellectually combative and stimulating series that is held every year. The 2025 edition is a unique one, as the Federal Minister of Livestock is standing here at the podium as an independent ministry, having been created or established 1 year ago by Mr. President. Creating a Ministry of Livestock dedicated to focus on the sector is not a mere administrative realignment. It is an inspiring strategic vision aimed to modernize the sector into a vibrant, resilient, sustainable, and globally competitive sector. For the creation, for national security, national food security, job creation, rural development, and poverty reduction. The current value of the livestock sector in the country is about $32 billion. And since 1960, it has been out of the formal sector. It is not still part of the formal sector. And that is the intention of Mr. President, to mainstream that huge volume and value into the modern economy. We have just crafted a national livestock growth acceleration strategy, and we hope to grow the sector to $74 billion by 2035. That is the aim of the ministry. We are on that trajectory. We are not scared. We can do it. This strategy has a role for the government, for the private sector, and for everybody who wants to partake into it. But we are not going to leave you unboarded. Empowering Africa's food future is not merely a theme. Therefore, it is a mandate, a moral imperative that calls us to action. When we speak about food security and sustainable livelihoods in Africa, we must place the livestock sector at the very heart of our strategy and discussions. For millions across our continent, livestock is more than just an asset. It is a bank. It is livestock. It is stock moving on legs, 2 or 4 or flying. A source of daily nutrition and a cornerstone of cultural identity. It is the engine that drives rural economies, yet its potential remains largely untapped. The potentials are still firmly locked, constrained by outdated practices and a critical lack of investment. The livestock sector is our more direct path to securing Africa's food future and enhancing livelihoods. Imagine the transformation that will happen across Africa, from Cape to Cairo, from Mombasa to Abuja. Improved meat and milk supply through the introduction of higher genetics and dedicated pasture cultivation. We can dramatically increase yields, providing essential protein and nutrition for our populations. The $1.5 billion spent annually on the importation of dairy would be earned by Nigerian farmers. The about $3.2 billion worth of red halal meat market in the Gulf will be earned by Nigerian farmers. Enhanced disease and animal health management. Modern proactive health strategies will reduce livestock losses, improve survivability, safeguard public health, and ensure the stability of supply chains. A new economic frontier. The modernization of this sector, from processing to the higher value leatherworks industry, creates a powerful value chain capable of absorbing and employing our vibrant and unemployed youth. 65% of our 230 million population are made of young men and young women. Particularly the leatherwork that we have been neglecting is capable of creating 700,000 jobs. It is equivalent to 23 billion naira worth economy. But what happens to our leather work? We have been eating our shoes in the name of Pomo. We have been eating our belts. We have been eating school bags. We have been eating so many things in the name of a delicacy called Pomo. We are not going to stop it, but we'll give you a very, very difficult choice not to eat it. Today, we are talking with a number of companies in France and Ethiopia to assist us to develop our leatherwork industry. And you have the choice. It's either you allow your girl or your boy to go and find work in a leather industry, or you sit down and cook the pomo and they remain unemployed. This vision of a modernized, vibrant, productive, resilient, and profitable sector is within our grasp, but it requires a fundamental shift in how we finance it. My call today is directed with sense of urgency and respect at our banking institutions. You hold the keys to unlocking this potential. We need you to move beyond traditional risk assessments of agriculture and recognize the immense long-term return on investment in our small livestock producers. They are the engines of Africa's food future. And surprisingly, when I looked around, there's a basket there of some vegetables and some grains. How many vegetarians are here? Do we have vegetarians are here? There should be one piece of red meat in that basket. Because we all eat meat. You can see so many things on the refuse heap, but you can't find a piece of meat in the dustbin basket. We urge you to establish and deploy soft and favorable terms, soft loans and favorable terms specifically tailored for the small livestock producer. Many of the banks today are still locked up with only an agricultural desk. We challenge you to create a livestock desk separate from agriculture. That is the future. That is the future crude oil for this country. We are 230 million lions. Nigerians eat meat. We need prime cuts. You must create livestock desk so that we can talk and push these changes forward. 95% of our livestock resources are in the hands of pastoralists. They need to be mainstreamed. We have been holding conversations. We have been changing their mindset from cultural holding to business, animal husbandry. We need the banks to match our talks with some soft and favorable loans. They have no access to finance. These funds are not just capital. They are catalysts for change, enabling producers to invest in the very modernization we have discussed: better breeds, better cultivated pasture and improved feed, and robust health management systems. Livestock is the only sector where you harvest every day. Every day you can pick an egg, every day you can kill a chicken, every day you can milk a goat, every day you can kill a sheep, every day you get hides and skin, every day you can kill a cow. For agronomy, without any sense of disrespect, you need 6 months down the line. The risks are lower in livestock, and this has been corroborated. We are inviting you to please sit down with us and dissect this sector so that it becomes part of a critical mix in Africa's food future. Let us commit to a partnership where the strength of African finance meets the resilience of the African livestock farmer. By investing in livestock, we are not just investing in agriculture, we are investing in nutrition, in employment, in economic diversification, and ultimately in a more secure and prosperous future for all of us in Africa. Once again, I wish you a very, very combative and productive session. Thank you so much.
We continue to rely heavily on food imports, spending billions of dollars annually on products that can be grown right here on African soil. This reality challenges us to rethink our strategies, build our value chains, and reclaim control of our food destiny. That is precisely why Agriculture Summit Africa exists. Over the years, ASA has evolved from a national initiative into a continental thought leadership and action platform, one that brings together government leaders, international development partners, private sector players, innovators, and farmers to design and implement sustainable solutions for Africa's agricultural transformation. This year's edition builds upon that legacy, offering a unique opportunity to explore the intersection of finance, technology, innovation, and policy in shaping the continent's agricultural future. Our discussions over these next 2 days will center on several critical themes: unlocking innovative and green finance for agricultural growth, driving digital transformation and agri-tech adoption across value chains, empowering smallholder farmers through access and inclusion, fostering policy reform and public-private collaboration for food security, and advancing climate-resilient agriculture to protect our environment and our future. At Sterling Bank, our vision is simple: to enable prosperity through purposeful investment in real economy. Agriculture remains at the heart of this vision. We recognize that feeding Africa is not just a moral or developmental imperative. It is a business opportunity, a path to social inclusion, and a cornerstone for economic independence. Through ASA and through our continuous engagement with stakeholders, we aim to create ecosystems that make agriculture attractive, accessible, and profitable, from the smallest farmer to the largest agribusiness. The transformation we seek, however, cannot happen in isolation. It requires bold leadership, coherent policies, and sustained collaboration across sectors and borders. Governments must continue to provide enabling environment that encourage investment and innovation. Financial institutions must rethink how they design and deliver financing that meets the need of farmers and agri-entrepreneurs. Development partners must align their resources with locally driven solutions, and the private sector must lead with intent, not just for profit, but to transform lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa's agricultural story is at a turning point. The pressures of climate change, global food insecurity, and population growth demand that we act with urgency and foresight. We can no longer afford fragmented interventions or short-term thinking. We need a shared commitment to long-term resilience, a future with African farmer a future where African farmers have access to markets, modern tools, and fair financing. Where young people see agriculture not as a last resort, but as a first choice. And where the continent feeds itself and the world. As we commence this year's summit, I urge each participant to engage with purpose. Let us go beyond conversations to actions, beyond analysis to collaborations. The future we desire will not be handed to us. It will be cultivated, nurtured, and earned through our collective will to make Africa's green transformation a reality. In closing, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate our partners and sponsors whose unwavering support have made ASA 2025 possible. Sunbed Global Concepts, our co-convener, MasterCard, the International Finance Corporation, IFC, Arziki Noma, One Foundation, Noor Takaful, the Alternative Bank, Beulah, National Agricultural Development Fund, Made by Nigeria, Leadway Assurance, Modus Commodities, Farm Junction, Saro and Farmmark Foods Limited. Your partnership is a testament to what can be achieved with vision when vision meets collaboration. To every delegate joining us from across the continent and beyond, welcome once again to ASA 2025. Together, let us plant the seed of innovation, inclusion, and resilience that will define Africa's next chapter. Because in this race, the future will not belong to the strongest or the fastest. It will belong to the greenest. Thank you and welcome to Agriculture Summit Africa 2025. Thank you very much.